Hi everyone, I'm back again today painting in my Strathmore 500 series sketchbook. Today I'm going to use Kuretake Gansai Tambai 24 color set. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I completely butchered the Japanese. The colors I'm using are red 32, cadmium scarlet 31, lemon yellow 40, yellow ochre 44, malachite 50, ultramarine pale 61, and ultramarine 64. Combinations of all these on the palette, and then I'll use those on the paper, mixing again on the paper. So I'll be mixing on the palette and again on the paper. I'll have some music going so you can listen and enjoy, follow along if you choose, or paint along if you'd like. So I'm going to place a piece of paper between the pages so any watercolor doesn't seep under. And I'm using I believe it's a 1/4 inch tape. I will put it in the comments below on exactly what that is. And I'm putting them in a random geometric pattern. And I'm adding the watercolor from my palette on my plate right to the paper and letting it just mingle and mix on the paper, using combinations of colors as I go along, what I think would look nice next to each other. Kind of just use your imagination and your own thing. There's no real right or wrong way to do this. It's just a relaxing exercise. Bring out more creativity, relax, mostly relax. I find this to be very relaxing. I don't put pressure on myself, and I just really enjoy sitting quietly and splashing down some paint and later putting some ink on top. I'll let you listen to the music while I paint, and I'll come back later and fill in what I'm doing. The brush I'm using is a round size 10, and I'll put a link to it in the description as well as the comments. As I finish up the watercolor, by the time I'm done, I can usually start drawing. The pens that I'm using are Copic .3, Copic .5, and a Copic brush small. It is the Copic Multiliner pigment ink. It is waterproof in black. I'm just doing random shapes, kind of just let my imagination go. I decide on the shape that I'm working within and then what I think might fit nice. And there's really no wrong way to do this. It's just you do what kind of comes out of you naturally. And if you don't like what you put down right away, kind of just work with that shape. Maybe add something else. For instance, when I was drawing these little swirls with the dots, the first two I didn't like how close together I put them. So I just kind of moved along and put them further apart to give it a little breathing room. No stress. Don't bring stress to your art. If I can say one thing, just let yourself relax. Art isn't fun when you're really uptight about it. Been there, done that. Here it was a really sunny day. I apologize for the shadow from my hand. The light was coming in the window. The light was really pretty and bright, but my hand was kind of creating a shadow on the work I was doing. It's hard for you all to see. I like to use these sketch pages like this as practice for what I might do in another painting or even on another sketchbook page. It's really a good exercise to warm up if you're looking to create something but you're not quite sure. This is a good way to warm up and get your creative juices flowing. I'm using a mixture of the pens. The real thin lines are the 0.3 and the thicker ones are 0.5. And then here, I'm going to go along and use the brush to fill in. It's much faster. I figured I've used the 0.5 before, but I found the brush just goes faster. It doesn't cramp my hand as fast. Here I'm using the brush and only the brush. and the brush to make dots. While I was doing these dots, there was a spider on the window outside, and it was casting a shadow. Didn't show up in the video, but it was casting a shadow on my table, so I decided to draw a little spider in there. This shape was kind of tall, so I added like a long, florally, leafy thing. And this shape it was kind of an odd shape, so I thought maybe like a sun. That was my inspiration. It was so sunny out that day that I did this painting. So I did kind of like a geometric sun. When I'm painting, I like to think, or I should say when I'm doodling, I like to think about what is underneath that I might be covering up or what I want to show. So as I'm filling this in, I liked how some of the blue showed and peeked through some of the bleeding of the blue and the yellow. And here I didn't want to cover up too much of the bleeding with the pink and the blue because it was very pale. I wanted to enhance it, not cover it up. Oh, here's the most fun part that I find. My favorite part is when I rip off the tape. This tape doesn't stick really a lot to this paper that I'm using, which I'm quite pleased. It is a thin tape, so I don't really worry too much about it tearing the paper. If you find that it tears your paper, you can just warm the tape up with a hairdryer and then peel it back. I didn't need to do that here today. If you have any questions about what I'm doing today, you can just post them in the comment section, and I'll respond to you as fast as I can. If you like what you see and you want to watch me do more, you can subscribe and like. That would really help me out. I hope you'll come back and we can paint together again. See you soon. Bye.